So today is July 2nd. I was reminiscing about camp. So I looked camp up, and apparently they start today and they end on August 3rd. I didn't realize how much that place meant to me. I did at the time, right? And even when I left, like I did because I would cry about it every time. It would really mean so much to me, and having to go back to real life was really just like, okay, I got to put on a show essentially. And camp, I could just be myself. People knew that I could be myself. Like, it doesn't really matter. Um, but like that place really meant a lot for me, even though it wasn't probably the best place to be at. But nothing's perfect, right? But I'm sitting here kind of emotional, and just like I need to find someone to sponsor my utilities for the month. I'm still got to work with my landlord to see how I'm going to pay for the next 3 months of my rent, um, and so forth. Hopefully, I get a new job. But I'm going to work part time for Family Dollar now, which is a blessing. I think I'm just solely taking in how I haven't prepared anything. I haven't looked forward to anything. I was just going with the flow. And maybe that was just my fault, and that was just the problem. I was just going with the flow and not really working towards something. Because I felt like college took so much out of me. And now that I actually have to do that, and instead of like doing that prior when I had the funds and putting it towards something, now I actually have to do something. It's just like, I didn't prepare myself. I think there's a level of accountability that I have to take because I am in the 3D. I didn't prepare myself to do shit, right? I didn't make the correct choices. That's what it really is. I can get all the tarot readings and all that shit. Am I making the correct choices? I think that's really what it is. Am I making the correct choices? I can blame everybody else. Am I making the correct choices? And that's real. Because I don't think I made the correct choices because I was just like, oh, well, I'll get it later, And later came and I didn't have it. This is talking about monetary funds, right? It's just struggling right now and dealing with, knowing what to do with my life in general. Like, again, this goes back to, like, dreaming as a kid and using my imagination to imagine what my life would be like. And I think that stopped, I'm not going to lie to you, stopped after the age 8. When I first, I think when I was 9, I stopped praise dancing, if you will, or working or dancing in church. And then my adopted father passed away, which then I think really hit me hard more than I would like to, because I ended up really bawling at his grave in like 2018, right? After not seeing him for like over 6 years, or going to his grave for over 6 years. Hopefully he's in there. And then I went through life having to essentially hide myself, my real self, in the name of making my adopted mother proud. So that looked like I went to all Christian private school, or a Christian private school in Nutley, New Jersey. And that was hard in itself because I was black. And I didn't realize I was black until later. But realizing that all my teachers were mainly white and Hispanic. But mainly white. Just knowing that now. But I digress. Go back into what I was saying. Having a person that my adopted mother worked at the school in the administrative office, and just being monitored, if you will, like a monitoring spirit of like me just trying to act masculine, which I really couldn't because I was really soft. I'm still soft. You can hear it in my voice. I'm a very soft person, very kind person, very flamboyant person at that, or androgynous, if you will. And I had to try to put on this facade. I knew who I was definitely still am gay, but I knew I was gay at the time. And trying to hide that. And I don't want this to be a sob story, but like that's really a lot of pressure on my nervous system, and just to behave and act a certain way. And then after I graduated there, I went to St. Benedict's Prep in North New Jersey, where like I had a little bit more freedom because, again, it was kind of convenient because my house was around the corner, essentially, that were down the street. And like there were gay niggas that really were at that school, but then I still got bullied for being gay, verbally. And then my adopted mother, had a stroke at that age when I was 15, my first year of high school at St. Benedict's Prep. So there was a lot of shit that I hadn't healed yet. And even though it's a new opportunity, I was still going through shit, just like, with life. So then I had to switch schools again, or for the first time, then I went to North Tech, which then I had my then uncle working there until I graduated. So I was being monitored consistently. Like, I was being monitored. Thinking about it now, monitored at home, monitored at the school that I went to, monitored at the high school I went to, Shit, like, fuck. Like, and just realizing, like, maybe I just didn't, take the time to develop what my life would be like. I was just trying to survive, right? I think I was and still am in survival mode, literally, and I think that's something I need to acknowledge, because it's hard. And again, not knowing what I really want to do with my life. Like, you can chase your dreams. Like, I like doing music, right? But do I want to be in the music industry? Because that's also draining in itself. And it costs a lot. I don't know what it costs, but I've heard stories, but it costs something. And not everyone makes it into the music industry. And it's like, that's an elite group. Do I want to be a part of a group? That's like that. It doesn't always guarantee that you'll be, stable. But that's just with any dream, right? But do I want to be a part of that? Or do I just want to do my dreams and hopefully something will work out? I'm just caught in between a rock and a hard place right now. Mentally, emotionally, I'm here, but I'm definitely emotional. Because the success I once knew and once worked for and paid for is not sustainable in this season. And I'm constantly finding myself looking for the yellow brick road, or somewhere that I could walk towards my freedom or towards something. And it's hard, really hard, especially with this economy right now. And usually I would be a little prideful and be like, oh my goodness, like, I'm not struggling. I don't want to show this part. No, I am struggling. I really am. More than I would like to admit. Yeah, and it's really by God's grace that I'm still here in this apartment. So, yeah.